Welcome to another episode of
Rye
Rye Can
can
Top
top my
My Knee.
knee.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. I don't,
It's getting slower and slower every week
every
now.
week. I'm Kevin.
I'm Jonathan, and we are a boys love podcast that talks about our favorite shows and all the mess and press around them.
And speaking of press and mess, we have mess we need to run straight to, which is the kiss that everyone is talking about. But I guess we'll take a little pit stop at Word on the Tweet first.
Yes, let's do word on the tweet. So
Yeah, we got a lot
before
to
all
talk
that
about.
happened,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Let's see. Fluke. I was excited for this. I saw some news of Own Fluke. They're apparently having a new surfing show that's done by a Korean
Oh,
production house.
yeah. Oh, that is interesting. Is it? It's giving the 8 cents. Is that what it's
Yeah, it's
supposed to
very
give?
8 cents vibes. 'Cause it's like surfers, Korea. I don't know if they're actually going to Korea, but I don't know. It gives that vibes. But apparently,
I'm wondering why they're filming it in Korea.
yeah, I don't know. But apparently, like, Fluke came out and was like, actually, nothing signed yet. So I don't know where y'all got this information. So I was like, ooh,
Oh,
clock the fans.
and also I'm a little surprised because I was thinking Fluke was kind of like,
They're kind of broken up.
yeah, like I thought that ship was kind of had sailed because there
Mm.
was Guide, but I guess that was just maybe Guide as a side piece. I don't know.
I think they were just taking a break, testing the waters, see if they
Right.
can act with other people, which I like.
Yeah,
They could always come back home to each other.
yeah. Soon as I get home, I guess. What else is
Oh
happening?
my. So Sunset Vibes, the new Star Hunter show with Moss and Bank is coming out. We
Mm.
finally got a release schedule. First episode is on June 15th. So
Ooh.
happy Pride.
Wow, and that's a month from now.
I
Yeah,
know.
wow.
And we just finished City of Stars, and now they're like, we got you. Not
Well,
much of a delay in between.
and then for people who haven't watched City of Stars, I believe it is on YouTube, as in the first episode came out on YouTube on Star Hunter's channel
Yeah, they
a
just
couple
started
days
releasing it
ago.
for free outside of iQIYI.
Yep. So, but I think the special episode came out on iQIYI yesterday or
Oh,
soon.
really? I
Something
think
like
maybe
that.
next Friday.
Maybe it's next Friday. Maybe that's what I'm.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm getting mixed up.
I didn't read the tie on the posters, so I don't know.
I didn't either.
But the last thing, oh my god, I was screaming with you and everyone in my
Everyone that
vicinity
wanted
about
to
this.
hear you scream.
Everyone that wanted to hear me scream about it. And I'm still
Yes.
screaming today. But like Bright was at the Met Gala this Monday.
That's right.
I feel like
And
that's so big.
that is a big deal. And you were at some kind of music festival last night, and he was apparently there too?
I know, I want to cry. He's at Head in the Clouds. Because apparently he's, I don't know, hanging out with, like, all the, like, higher ups at 88 Rising that, like, create Head in the Clouds.
Oh.
So maybe he's going to be at, like, a future concert. Maybe he's going to be Head in the Clouds, I don't know, LA or, I don't know. Hopefully in the future.
Do you
Or
think
if he
he's
comes
gonna be
back to New York.
performing? He's going to be performing at this thing?
Oh, for today's concert? No.
No. I mean in the future.
But probably, yeah, in the future. He probably would perform.
Okay.
Like, he has fans. I don't
That
know.
I mean, yeah, you're one of them. So
I'm one of them. I wish I could see him today. I hope I can see him today. If he comes today. It's day 2. But
yeah. Oh, so you're gonna go today as well?
yeah, it's a 2-day event.
Oh, and it's wet today and cold.
I know. So he better show up. If I'm showing up, he better show up.
Right. Mm-hmm. Show up, umbrella and everything, child.
No.
Anywho, Um,
Anywho,
let's go to our shows of the week. So, Jonathan, what is your show this week?
my show is at 25 o'clock in Akasaka.
Oh gosh.
I
Oh.
just saw the newest episode.
Oh. Oh my gosh. It's getting. I think it's getting better each week.
Mm-hmm. At first, I was like, "Where's this show going? Are they really gonna have like a relationship, or are they just like I don't know? Like, is he just using this for acting?" But you can see that like he's already like double, like second guessing himself, being like, "Do I actually like this guy? Like, is this all for show? Am I really acting?"
Yeah, and we're not sure if the other dude likes him the same way. Like that's what we're not. I feel as if he does, but also
He probably
like
does.
but also like is he doing this to really get his former college friend into, you know, into the role that he's playing on the show. And so part of me has that kind of in the back of my mind, but also considering that they have a little history, it sounds like he may have had a crush on him for a long time. So I don't know, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, it looks like it's one of those like slow burns until you realize that you love each other in the end. And it's also cool to see that he's like blowing up as a celebrity, and he's like not ready for that.
Yeah, he's definitely not ready. But I mean, if your acting is that good,
yeah, if everyone loved your acting,
like,
but I don't know
obsessed.
if he's gonna think like, oh, actually, I wasn't really acting because I was saying the truth in that scene. I do like Asami, you know.
But another thing about that, you saw the last like 5 seconds with the dude that comes
yes,
in.
I was like, oh, a love rival?
Yes.
Really?
And he, first of all, he's kind of fine. I was like, where the hell you come from, boo? Like,
nah, he too young. He too young.
I was like, wait a minute. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was in another BL. And as a supporting character. Yes, I'm gonna look it up again because I remember seeing this and I was like, what show was he in? And I meant to take a little notes from it and then I forgot. But let me go ahead and see if I can pull that up.
I don't see anything. Maybe he was in support role in the what's that Japanese show that is like everyone around you is like this one guy is like landed in like a BL where everyone is like in a BL couple. It's called like something BL versus like the world or something.
Oh, he was in
I think he was in
Monato's Corn Laundry. That's what he was in. And then he was also in what is this show?
No, Minato's Laundromat. Boo.
Yeah, he was in that. And what's the other show? I feel as if there's one more.
Maybe that's it.
Maybe that is it. Yeah. So I was gonna say, I was like, I've seen him before, and I was trying to figure out which one it was in, and the rest he was in were all like straight or romancy. So
love that. I mean, he's showing body in this one. I was like,
he really is. And, you know, we don't see a lot of, like, this is...
body in JBLs.
Right, because, I mean, with the exception of Love is Better the Second Time Around, but...
Oh. I mean, did we see a lot of Robin's body? Did we see...
we saw nipples.
Ooh. All right.
And then also the one that you see a lot of body is Naked Dining. Which,
I mean, of course, it's in the name.
Right. And also in The Novelist.
Well, anyway, what is your show of the week?
Mine is Memory in a Letter, which just ended on Saturday. And it's on WeTV. It's... Jonathan, I need you to get into it. It's only 6 episodes. Each episode
I mean,
is
now that it's
40
over...
minutes, you know, except the last episode is a half hour, so the last episode goes by very quickly.
Aw.
So which is good because
Mm-hmm.
we have watched Thai BLs where the last episode kind of falls flat because they're trying to fill 40 to 50 minutes. And it's
Yeah.
kind of like, you know what? Maybe just make that last episode 30 minutes. Like, get to the meat and the potatoes. We don't need a lot of fluff. We're wrapping things up.
I mean, sometimes it's either like overly stuffed or it's
Mm-hmm.
like really nothing, and it's just like the characters sitting around.
Right. Right. And this one is not like that. It's really good. I 100% recommend it.
100%. I know. I
Mm-hmm.
gotta see it. I mean, now that it's over, I can fully binge it.
Yes. I I think I already told you and the congregation what the show is about.
The
Um,
congregation.
yes, the congregation that you know,
It's about a guy seeing
yes,
like
Axon
after
sees a guy in the mirror, the man in the mirror.
the man in the
The man
mirror.
happens to be the guy happens to be like in another universe, and they start talking to each other and all of that.
And
Um
feelings
and
arise.
feelings arise and all of that. It is somewhere around episode 4, towards the end of episode 4, that things take a pivotal turn,
Mm.
which makes things very interesting. And there's a lot of layers to it because when you get to towards the end of the 5th episode, beginning of the um last episode, or pretty much all of the 5th episode and the beginning of the last episode, everything
Mm-hmm.
kind of comes together, and then it all starts to everything makes sense. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a wild ride that I recommend everyone get on at least once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for not spoiling. You're giving a very broad
Right.
explanation.
I'm trying not to spoil it
Uh
because
huh.
it's actually, I think, is worth
Because
watching.
everyone should watch it. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Um we got a special announcement.
We do. Ah.
Yes. So we have a special bonus episode coming out later this week. Hopefully, we're having a little technical
Hopefully, or
issues that are
yes.
being resolved.
Mm-hmm.
We had the pleasure, the honor of interviewing greatness, the creative minds at Star Hunter Entertainment. The folks who brought us City of Stars, who are bringing us Sunset Vibes, who brought us Big Dragon.
Big Dragon, Two Moons.
Yes. So
So many good shows.
yeah.
So, if you haven't already, follow us on Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and we'll let you know when it's out. It should be hopefully in the next week or so.
Yes. The goal is this week. So we'll just have it pop up. We're not telling you an exact day. It will come up. It's just gonna be like bloop, and then that's it. So if you're following us, you would know. It'd be like, oh, ooh la la.
Ooh la la!
Ooh la la.
We're so excited. It was a good conversation.
It was a really
We
good
had some
conversation.
technical difficulties, but it was a
Too
good
many.
conversation. Everyone.
We had technical difficulties during and now after, but I'm confident we'll have this for y'all.
Something
Yeah.
to share.
Something. Anyway, speaking of Star Hunter, we need to do a quick review of City of Stars. So this show ended how many weeks ago? Like 3 weeks ago?
It ended like mid-April, April 19th, 16th. One
Okay,
of those.
so about almost 4 weeks ago now.
We gave y'all time to watch it because
mhm.
this will be full of spoilers.
Yes, and if you don't have iQIYI, like we said earlier, it is up
They're
on
currently
YouTube.
airing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we think?
What do we think? Oof, it was a ride.
It
I think
was.
it started out really, really strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got a little wonky in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had a good ending. Well, it had a typical ending.
It had a typical ending, and now there's a special episode that will be coming out.
And I usually really like special episodes. They're
Yeah,
always fun.
I'm curious to see how this lands.
Yeah.
Because we know what it's
Because
going to be
usually
about.
give time for the... Yeah, we know what it's going to be about. So we can, like, say everything already. So
Yeah. I made a few points. Fuang is fine. Maybe too perfect.
Oh my, that's how I felt the whole show. Like I
Yeah.
was like, my main thing is this man is too fine.
Yeah. Like
Fuang Nakorn is too fine, and
too
he's too
fine,
perfect.
too perfect, too nice. Like not too nice to the point that you're like,
Not too
oh, he's
nice,
hiding
but
something, but he's a full package. He's rich, handsome, actually a
humble.
kind, humble person.
Yeah, I just
Um
felt like that was just that was a little too perfect. I wanted to see some more flaws, and they did show us a little later on.
I mean, the
But that
flaw
was just more
was
of like silly youth than like a
yeah,
flaw.
right. You know, and he had grown past it, and he had a scorned lover that was trying to tarnish him. You know,
Yeah, like that wasn't really his fault, but it still he was a little too perfect for my taste.
yeah, and I like to see a bit of struggle,
Hmm.
with the person where they struggle and then they grow and learn from it and become a better
Yeah,
person.
you know they never had like a scene where they like kind of broke up. I just realized that they never broke up in this show.
Oh yeah, like there wasn't really a
That's
breakup. There was
usually like a
more.
moment.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was more of
he
like
went
a
back to
let
San
me know how you
Francisco.
feel.
Yeah, all we know is what's his name went to San Francisco,
I
and
mean, that was
then
just like a temporary like break, but they still did long distance. It wasn't like a we are breaking up.
right. Yeah, there was nothing like that, which is very
Yeah, they didn't
interesting.
follow the usual trope of like episode 11. We have to break up
Yeah.
for your thing. Yeah, they went a different route because they went the route of him, Fuang, like coming out to the media and kind of like
Mm-hmm.
accepting that he's gonna lose all these gigs and
And he did,
sponsors,
which is
and he
wild.
did. And they showed like the kind of aftermath of that, but
Mm-hmm.
he still kind of like stuck to his own like ideals and morals.
Mm-hmm.
So that's big. That's different. He didn't just like lie and like try to cover it up, and they just kind of played on the low, which
Right.
they could have.
They could
They,
have. Yeah. I mean, I kind of was wondering if he would do that, like
I think they were planning on doing that until they brought up the dirt of like, you have a random sex tape with
from when he
your
was in
high
high
school ex
school, and
boyfriend,
it's from his
and
ex-boyfriend.
there's people preying on your downfall in the background.
Yeah. So it sounds more as if like he just had a lot of haters because he was
Yeah, so he had
perfect.
to. Yeah,
Like
because he was too perfect. Even the media was like, "You're too perfect."
maybe that's his flaw, that he's too perfect.
That he just feels too perfect, but even though he's not, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, one thing that we we did talk about a while ago, when we were talking about the show,
Mm-hmm.
I think Fuang is a verse king.
Oh my god. I
Like,
mean, in that one episode, he was like, "So, what do you want to do?"
yeah,
It was
and
very
I mean, they
open.
were
It was.
very pretty. They were pretty explicit with it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like, I would have liked to see, because we don't really see anyone
We don't
who's
see much of
verse
that
in
because,
BLs too
yeah,
often.
they like to really keep people in little boxes, which is kind of not realistic.
Right. And I
I
think
mean,
this is the first time that I think, because, I didn't necessarily like that little conversation. I thought it was unnecessary, in
I
my
mean, it was a little
opinion.
cringe.
It was
It
a
was
little
just the
cringe.
wording itself, or at least the translation on Aichi was very cringe.
Right. And you know what? I kind of wish we did ask the folks at Star Hunter about that. But,
To be
um,
like, so did they really say I want to be your bottom?
yeah. Because it was just kind of
I'm
like,
happy to be your bottom. I'm like, okay, who
and I
talks
was
like
like, who
that?
wrote this? But I, but
But it was good to know that there's options and you can talk about it. It's
right.
not so like expected that like I am your P and I have to be.
I have to be the top, and because you are Dong, you have to be the bottom. You
Yeah,
know,
like that's not how that works.
yeah. And I think we need to see more. Either don't necessarily talk about who's doing what position, right? Like we can
Mm-hmm.
kind of figure it out and make our own inferences, and I prefer that. Or if you're going to talk about it, it should be very intentional And
intentionally.
yeah, well, not only that, not necessarily that, but it should really help the plot. Like, it should be a plot device. And in this case, it's like it wouldn't have changed anything. All we know
I
is that
mean,
it wouldn't have changed anything because all we know is that they
yeah,
were
it doesn't change anything, but at least it
yeah.
changes the audience's minds sometimes
Yeah.
because people are so quick to be like, "Oh my God, Crom is such a little baby boy," and it's like
Mm,
he could be the top for all you know. He doesn't, just because he's a baby boy doesn't mean
right. I
he's not
mean,
the
let's
top.
think
I don't
about
know.
Pit Babe.
Exactly. I think Pit Babe also. That's what got people being like, "Oh my God, it's Pooh Pavel."
Mm-hmm.
And not Pavel Poo, but people are like, oh, it's Pavel Poo in real life, but Pooh Pavel in the show, and I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Even the
No,
actors are like, doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter because they're acting.
It doesn't matter because they're just together. It doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a name in front of the other.
And already it's like, we might need to do another episode on that, on top versus bottom, because it's, as we know, in the whole yaoi language, right? The top is supposed to be the person who
the
is
caretaker,
the caretaker,
the
more
guardian,
dominant, and all of that.
the more
And-
mask role,
right?
And the bottom is like the femme, almost kind of female, pseudo female character,
right?
replacement. And even Mech, the actor, Mech that's currently in like My Stand-In as Tong.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was tweeting about it recently too. He was also like when are we gonna stop this this kind of like archetype of like this top and bottom in Thai BL, where it's like the bottom is like this like small frail little thing.
Right.
So even he supports it.
I think that's why too people. Okay, now we're going off on a little tangent, and then we'll get back.
Very much a tangent. We'll
back,
bring it back to City of Stars.
But this is, I think, why a lot of people like Max Tool, because they didn't have, both of them are these pretty buff guys,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they felt very versed too. But
Yeah,
then maybe
they
that's
did.
also just like the way their image is. People
Right.
didn't see Tool as like a little baby boy because he's like the same height as
That's
Max.
Max. And they're both pretty
and they're both like the same build.
same
Yeah.
build. So it was pretty much like, just watching two chiseled, sweaty guys rolling in bed. So anyway,
Anyways,
back to City of Stars. Speaking
back
of
to City of
beautiful,
Stars.
the cinematography, beautiful.
The cinematography was beautiful.
I appreciate a show that is beautifully shot, and I don't know, slightly. I'm gonna take this out and then bring it back in. But I don't know if you watch any like Nollywood movies, like as in Nollywood movies after 2015. So that's like films from Nigeria, right? The ones that are done very well.
The ones on Twitter.
The ones before then are interesting. Then that's a whole nother topic. But I love seeing rich saturation in films, right? Because, well, when used appropriately, because it sets a happy tone when you have like a good amount of saturation, like not oversaturated, but just enough that the colors are vibrant. And with City of Stars, that was something that was consistent because it wasn't meant to be a sad show, right? It was meant to be, I mean, it had some parts of the story that were sad, but for the most part,
it was mostly like a fun ride.
It was a fun ride.
A fun little goofy ride.
Right. And I think when you set the tone with some spice and a lot of condom use, if you
which was good,
which was
real good, spread awareness,
which is good. If when you set the tone with rich colors and even going down to what people were wearing, even the Zendaya app, I forgot how they pronounce it.
Yeah, they fully said Zendaya. I was like, all right, come on, Zendaya, get your coin.
Like everything was so rich and colorful, and I think that was great.
I think I was rewatching Big Dragon, and I noticed that too. Like they put a lot of emphasis on like color, like red. There's a lot of red
There's a lot of
standouts
red
in
in
that
Big
show.
Dragon. And you know, red is a color of luck, but also Big Dragon was somewhat of a darker show compared
Yeah,
to
it's
City of
filmed kind of
Stars.
more cinema,
Hmm. So
kind of
the
more
colors, the
movie
colors
esque.
were
It's
rich,
like
but it was a
it's
lot
more.
of dark tones.
Yeah, it's a lot of dark tones, so that red really stands out.
Hmm. Hmm.
But
Um,
back to City of Stars.
back to City of Stars.
We didn't talk about the side couple. Like Kimmin had his own side couple. He's with this woman,
Yes.
and they have this whole like actually like well written like trans character, and how
Hmm.
she like impacted his life, how he impacted her life, because she didn't want to be like in the spotlight,
Hmm.
but like dating like I think maybe they both, I guess they both had the same kind of storyline of like dating an actor and how it can like mess with your life.
Right.
And like she really like went through it with like
Yeah.
losing all her gigs, like being
Hmm.
harassed online, in person.
Like the fandom was a mess. And
Yeah, like they didn't want Fuang to be gay, but they still wanted to ship him with Kimmin, even though they weren't even like ship partners in their work.
yeah, very
Like they
weird.
played like kind of hero villain in all their work.
Yeah, and you know what? I think this is the writer saying, y'all as
Mm-hmm.
fans need to calm down.
The hypocrite
Yeah,
in the fandom that are
because
like,
this is
he
hypocritical,
can't be gay, but
and
also
people, a lot of fans don't know how to separate the show from reality and
mm-hmm.
understand that these are actors. Like this is just them. This is them doing their job. Just like you and I have our day jobs, and then we got this. These are two
Mm-hmm.
separate things. We can separate the two. You know.
Yeah, we can be delusional and kind of have fun with shipping, but there comes a
Yeah,
time when it's
yeah.
it's
You
not
gotta
real.
boundaries. Gotta have boundaries,
Yeah,
and I think
but also yeah.
no. Go ahead because you were gonna say
No, I was
something.
gonna say like because yeah, they want them to be together in this fictional sense, but then are disgusted when it's real.
Yeah, which doesn't
It's
make
kind
any
of
sense to me. It's like, what do you
it's just
want?
fetish. It's
Yeah,
all
it's like,
fetish. I
so
don't know.
clearly it's just a fetish. Like if you you want to see them trying to be clean, so I don't know how to say it, so I'm just not gonna say
You
it.
want, yes, you want, I don't know, you want the ship work, but you don't actually want the relationship.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Or at least
And it,
some of them are like
yeah,
that. And then
it's
the
a
other half
mess.
are way too delusional and think that every hug means, wedding bells.
Yeah, and it's like, no, maybe it's just a hug. You know,
Hmm.
unlike a kiss, which might mean more. But before we get to that, what do you rate this show?
What did I rate this show? Let's see. I think I rated it, I think, a 7 on my drama list. Either a
Oh, okay.
6.5 or a 7.
Okay, and I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10. Um, I
Yeah, just
really,
because I really needed Fuang to be messier. That's all I
yeah,
wanted.
I think that was the thing. I think
I
if
wanted like a
he,
messy breakup, a messy ex boyfriend.
mm-hmm,
Like earlier on, like I needed
mm-hmm.
like,
I
I don't
mean, he did
know.
have a messy ex-boyfriend, but we only got a glimpse of him. I
Yeah, we
wish
got
that was
that too
developed
late. I
more.
wanted it. Yeah, I wanted it earlier. I
Mm-hmm,
wanted more scandals earlier in the show.
mm-hmm.
There was a lot of fluff.
Yeah, and
They
I
were
feel
like
as
happy
if
for
some
so
of the
long.
scandals were contained in one episode. Like they would come out in that at the end of the
Yeah, it
previous
was kind of wrapped
episode
up.
and then wrapped up
Yeah.
in the next episode. And it's kind of like,
Hmm.
if this could transcend maybe a few episodes, this would be nice.
Hmm.
Um,
Or more drama with Crum's work earlier on. Like
yeah,
his drama all like actually was just kind of like, all right, quit your job.
yeah,
I don't know. Do
yeah,
you really need this Zendaya? I work somewhere else
right.
because your
And,
boss is being way too unreasonable.
yes. And also, I think, overall, my rating goes to if you have not watched the Thai BL at all in your life, and you want something that feels 2024, I think this is the show to watch. This is a gateway. because it's not a bad show. Like, I
Not a
think we
bad
both
show.
agree it's not a bad show, but it gives you
It
a
has its
base.
moments
It has its moments, but it gives you it's a baseline of the expectations of where
of the
top.
tropes and everything, but
Yeah,
also being new and fresh with this kind of dating a star kind of thing.
yeah. Well, I
I
mean,
think
more of
so. I
like,
don't think I've seen
I
anything like
mean,
this
more of
before.
like if you
Maybe.
are a viewer, right, and you've never
Mm-hmm.
watched High BLs before, this is a good baseline to start at. Like, there are
Mm-hmm.
better shows for sure. Like if we're gonna just talk about Star Hunter, I think Big Dragon is better. Um, in my opinion.
Well, Big Dragon was trying to be like more, yeah, like, it's like darker and more
Yeah,
emotional.
and those are I think
And this
maybe
is
that's
supposed to
more
be
of my
like kind of
personal
a
taste.
fluffy,
Yeah,
yeah, this is like a more fluffier, happier
right.
show
And this
with
is
some real
easy
moments.
watching. This is
Mm-hmm.
overall easy watching. As the plot is not that complicated. The acting is pretty good. And yeah, I think if you don't have never watched one, this is one to watch. And also, it's it gives you an idea of where Thai BLs in general are at in
Are moving,
2024.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
because
we end with a wedding. We end with a
yeah,
proposal.
right. Because if you go to like if we tell people to start off with some of the more canonized ones like Tarn type, they also have to put that in context of what like 2017 of where Thai BLs were at that time, where it
Yeah,
was
where they were low key problematic,
right,
just where people were adapting like really like problematic material that
right,
had a lot of
a lot of
a lot of
very
essay in it,
mm-hmm,
romanticized essay in it,
right,
where there's none of that in here.
right. There's none of that in here. So I think this is a good one to start if you're in 2024. I mean, would I
Mm-hmm.
recommend watching Tarn type? Sure, just I'll give a trigger warning, but
Trigger warning, but
right, but this one I
it's some
don't have
history.
to. This one
It's
I
some
don't have
BL
to.
history.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But with City of Stars, you don't have to give a trigger warning. You already can go in and be like, "This is pretty good." You know. Anywho,
Anywho,
before we sign off, we have to talk about the kiss seen around the BL world. And you know what kiss I'm talking about, Jonathan, because we've seen it several times and it kept Instagram and the Twitter all
oh,
a
it
buzz.
blew up. Like,
Blew
when was this?
up.
Thursday?
Yes. So it's only
This.
been a
Oh
few
my god.
days.
Only been a few days, and it like literally like people's minds were exploding at the thought that
So,
two boys can kiss each other and it means nothing.
yeah. But for the folks who don't know, can you spill the tea?
For the folks at home, I mean, if you're even anywhere in the BL like world right now, um, so there was a live where New and Tay were just on live playing games together. They're playing
Mm-hmm.
some mobile game, and they're sharing like a room, a hotel room with I guess Off and Gun,
Mm-hmm.
and Gun is just like trying to mess with Tay, I guess, and New turns the camera like slightly to the left to show Tay. Like I doubt he was even thinking about it because
Mm-hmm.
they're playing the game, and it showed Tay and Tay and Gun kissing for like a half a second. Like
Yeah.
it's very like a little quick little peck, and they like freaked out because like, oh my god, you showed that on camera.
Yeah.
And the world, the fandoms, both fandoms, the Tay New fans and the Off Gun fans were like in uproar. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
mostly what I'm seeing online is like the international side. The international fans are just like, it's cute, like love that they could just kiss each other. It means nothing.
Yeah.
Or even if they are together, Tay Gun, like they're grown men, like they can be together if they want to. Your ship,
Right.
just because there's ships on screen with other people doesn't mean they have to be in real life.
Right. And they're
And
both
then
in
the
their
other
30s.
side,
Actually, all
yeah,
three
they're
of them,
all in
all
their
of them are in their
30s.
30s. Yeah.
Yeah, the other side, there's like crazy like delusional fans that are like, I'm leaving the fandom, like how dare you disrespect us like this. Like, yeah, people are going crazy. Like people are saying like apparently the Chinese fans are like, oh, I'm depowering depowdering, and everyone's like
Depowdering? What
depowder.
does that mean?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it means like leaving the fandom or something.
I
So everyone
can't.
was like, not depowder.
Yeah, I can't.
And Tay had to have a whole statement being
right.
like, guys, like, we're all in our 30s. We've known each other for like 10 plus years.
Yeah.
This is just how we are. Like, it means nothing. Like, we're not changing anything about how the way we act. Like, just because you guys say anything online. Like, this is just how we're going to be. So get over it.
And you know what? Part of me was like, he didn't really need to give an explanation.
He didn't need to give an explanation, but I guess, you know.
I'm kind of glad he did.
The company was like, say something, because the fans are going crazy.
But I'm also kind of glad he did, because it really kind of was like, y'all need to calm down. That's pretty much what he was saying. Like,
yeah, he was like, we're grown men. Y'all need to leave us alone. Calm down.
But I will say, it did take me by surprise, because I don't think knew what was happening.
Yeah,
like
New
he
did not care
it took
either.
him by, he didn't care, but I think it took him by surprise too, because weren't they on live?
Yeah, they were on live. They were on Insta Live.
Yeah, so I think he didn't know that was even happening. He just put it over and was like, oh.
And he was just like, stop playing, y'all. Like,
but you know, some of the stuff I saw where people were like, oh, well, I already knew Tay Gunn were together.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh.
Yeah, I knew
I
they
mean,
were
the
together.
thing is, Gunn is very, like, is very affectionate with, like, all four of them. Like, you see, if you watch any, like, we're kind of like, literally anyone in GMMTV. Like,
right.
like, he's very affectionate. Like, he'll hug everyone. He's very clingy.
Yeah.
He, like, you know, hug and kisses everyone. Like, every one of those, like, behind the scenes things or what are those special content, like School Rangers?
Yeah.
All those reality little things. Like, he's always clinging on to, like, Tay or New or Off, of course.
Yeah.
Or even, like, other people, like Nanon and...
Yes.
And, Jimmy. I don't know. Just anyone.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out, like, you know what was in the back of my mind? I was like, I wonder who he was kissing when they were taping Fully Booked.
Stop. He was clinging on to? Let's see. Who's he the closest with in that cast?
I think he and Earth are the closest in age.
Yeah, but I don't think they've never really worked together, so I don't think they're that close, though.
Yeah. I mean, that might have been their first time working on anything together other than, like, School Rangers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think, no, not really with Pond. I don't think with Book.
Who else was there? Forrest, Book.
Dunk.
Yeah, probably not any of them.
Yeah, at most, that's not maybe Earth, but
yeah, like maybe Earth, because Earth is probably like the oldest, in the company, like same amount of years, maybe closer to the same amount of years.
Yeah, because Gunn I think is a year older than Earth.
Yeah, but Gunn's been there since like. I don't know, he's such a child actor.
He's been there forever. Yeah.
And Earth just came on like 2020, 2018? 2020. Waterboys, I don't know.
That was like Waterboy was like, that was like 2018. Maybe? Yeah, so it's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that's just how Gunn acts. And I love that. They have such a cute little friendship with all of them. They're all so cutesy.
Every kiss begins with Gunn.
Oh my God.
Gunn is the one kissing everybody.
He's a smoocher, smoochies.
Yeah.
I think even bring back to Mech on Twitter, because I follow Mech on Twitter. He tweets in English. He was like, you don't kiss your friends? Like, even I kiss my friends. Like, y'all need to start kissing your friends.
I only kiss some of my friends. I don't kiss all of my friends. Because some of my friends, like, don't, like, and the friends that I do kiss, it's like kisses on the cheeks. And there's a few different contexts, right? Like, my friends who are Brazilians kiss everybody. Like, that's just a part of the culture to kiss, you know, on the cheeks, you know, when you see each other, bon dia, kiss, you know, that's a thing. And same with, like, some of my friends who are in Mexico or in Spain. That's fine. And then, but I wouldn't do that with any of my Korean friends. Like, at most we hug, and that's a stretch for them, you know. So, so I think
you can see there's a difference in each culture. Like in America, we're so like, everything's like, oh my god, no homo this, to
Mm-hmm.
like touch your friends. But
I mean,
in
I touch
like
my friends
Asia,
in the
it like
US.
it's like varying in like how close people are to each other. Like people say
Yeah.
like Koreans are very like touchy between boys.
Not really.
I mean,
I
I don't
mean,
know. Well, at least in
unless
like,
you're really close friends. Like if you're close friends with someone, then you're really touchy with them. So I would say yes in that
that's what I
case.
mean.
But I mean, like if
Compared
you
to
are,
America, where it's like, oh, you can't even like
I think the
hold
younger
hands for a
generation in the
second.
U.S. is very touchy feely, considering my
I don't
work with
know.
with the youth.
With
At
the
a certain
youth.
time. Yeah, they love to touch each other, and it took me aback because I was not in that camp where we
Times
were
are
like
changing
touching.
then.
Yeah, but now I
Yeah,
see
I don't
that a
know.
lot with the younger group, like younger Gen Z. They do that a lot, and they're okay with it.
I mean, that's good that we're moving towards a place where you can just
Yeah, but I would say people in our age group,
you can
if you're
be
close friends, like
compassionate and affectionate with your friends. Yeah.
yeah, I mean I hug, like I love hugging, but I also know some people just don't like being hugged.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe yeah, I'm trying to see it, and I think it really depends on what country they're from. Would depend on how much kissing, if kissing is even happening.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, with that said, we need to kiss y'all goodbye.
Oh my god.
So that is it for this episode of Rye Can Top My Knee. Be safe, have your knee smooched, and
Okay. Ew. Well, hope the ride in your life smooches your knee.
yes. Bye bye.
Bye bye.